Good afternoon, everybody. This is your campus weather service forecast update. I'm meteorologist Jase Bernhardt here just after the noon hour on Friday, October 28th. And you might think late October is too early to get a significant snowstorm, but actually we can get nor'easters here in the northeast United States, occasionally those coastal winter storms, and we're going to have one of those here as we head into our Saturday. And much of Pennsylvania could be under the gun for some accumulating snowfall as the storm system moves up the coast. We'll get to all the details in a moment, but right now you wouldn't think there's a snowstorm on the way. Lots of sun out there, cool as a high pressure system is over us, temperatures in the upper 30s, calm winds, actually a pretty nice Friday. But unfortunately conditions will be deteriorating across Pennsylvania. But again, right now, cool temperatures, seasonally cool, 30s and 40s as we head through State College, Altoona, and Johnstown. A little warmer in southeastern Pennsylvania, 48 in Philadelphia, 47 in Allentown, as we see temperatures getting up into the 40s for much of the Commonwealth today. And we did have a cold front move through yesterday and high pressure over us now, kind of our first significant cold air outbreak, that cold air coming down north from Canada. And you see in the last 24 hours, temperatures have dropped across much of Pennsylvania by 5 to 15 degrees, 5 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday in State College, 12 degrees cooler than it was yesterday at Altoona. Same thing for Lancaster over to Philadelphia and Johnstown. So below normal temperatures here in Pennsylvania as, again, high pressure is in control. Looking at the current surface map, you see that weak area of high pressure keeping us fairly clear, high and dry for now here in Pennsylvania. But you see this cold front down to our south and east and an area of precipitation as we put this into motion over the Tennessee Valley. And this area will be the focus for a developing storm just off the mid-Atlantic coast as we go through later tonight. And that storm will move up the east coast as we head through Saturday, bringing lots of precipitation from much of the northeast and interior areas of Pennsylvania, as well as New York and New England. We'll see potentially several inches of snow from this coastal storm. So again, we're under the gun here. Much of Pennsylvania under a winter storm watch. I'll get out of the way so you can see this graphic. Winter storm watch means the potential for several inches of snow. So Center County, State College, Altoona, off to the east, and interior Pennsylvania, seeing this potential for several inches of snow closer to the coast. Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, much of New Jersey will stay just warm enough to keep this mostly rain. And even some of the valley locations in interior Pennsylvania will see some rain and mixing, especially at the onset of the snow. But as we head through today, Saturday, most of this winter storm watch area will see some steady snowfall, and the potential exists for several inches of snow, especially in the higher terrain, the Poconos, the higher terrain of the Ridge and Valley region, could be the jackpot for this storm with over 6 inches, a good bet for some of these mountain locations. So here is our eye on the sky exclusive model forecast, putting that into motion. Right now you see some clouds starting to move in, but generally clear conditions, that precipitation off to the south. But again, as we go through tonight, you see that mix of rain and snow starting to come through West Virginia and Virginia. And quickly from south to north, this precipitation builds in during the pre-dawn hours Friday. So anytime after midnight Friday, from south to north, we'll start to see some precipitation moving in. At the onset, it still will be fairly warm at the surface and just above the surface. So snow higher up in the atmosphere, but it could melt as it gets close to the surface or as it hits the ground. So it'll take a while for accumulating snow to start, especially in those lower elevations like Happy Valley. So starting off as a mix of rain and snow in the valleys, more snow in the mountains again before dawn on Saturday. And by Saturday morning, you see these pinks and blues indicating mixed precipitation and snowfall for much of central Pennsylvania, just east of Pittsburgh, State College, on into Harrisburg. Looks like light to moderate snow will be the rule for these areas as we head through Saturday morning in through the day on Saturday. And again, several inches of snow could pile up. Fortunately, this storm will begin to bomb out, which is bad news for New England, but good news for us because it'll start to rapidly accelerate and pull away. So already after sunset on Saturday, most of central Pennsylvania should see the snow quickly winding down. Harrisburg, eastern Pennsylvania will hold on to a little longer, although Philadelphia will be mostly rain and then switching over to some snow as the system pulls away. And finally, this guy will rapidly accelerate out to sea So by Sunday, we actually see clearing and a very nice day for Sunday, and early next week, much more tranquil conditions and some melting of that snow. So some snow on the ground Saturday night, but it should start to melt as we head into Sunday and early next week. As it still is late October, early November, we still can and will get fairly warm behind the storm system. So what's the bottom line for this coastal storm? Snow moving in later tonight, really after midnight, we'll see that precipitation start to move in. Should start as a mix in the lower elevations here in central Pennsylvania, but the higher terrain should see mostly snow from the onset and throughout. Periods of light to moderate snow during the day on Saturday. So the Penn State football game looks pretty white, some snow possibly on the ground and some snow falling down from the sky, especially for the early stages of the game. And several inches of snowfall is possible for many locations in Pennsylvania. An early call could be a 3 to 6 inch type of storm for State College. Again, on the lower end, if there's more mixing, and on the higher end, if that snow can really start coming down at the onset and can stick around for long enough, 6 to 12 inches in some of the higher terrain in central and eastern Pennsylvania, as we see a pretty good October snowstorm. And then the 5-day forecast shows, again, much nicer weather coming in behind the storm system, upper 40s and then lower 50s, as we see actually a very nice early start to next week. So once we get through this storm system on Saturday, the weather should really improve. One more note, the record snowfall in one day in October in State College is 4.7 inches. That was set 2 years ago, back in October 2009. It is possible we could approach that record tomorrow. So not completely out of the ordinary to get some snow in October, but certainly rare to get an accumulating snowfall. And again, a couple inches of snow, up to several inches here in State College, with more for the higher terrain. I'm Jase Bernhardt, and that's your Campus Weather Service update.